Yes, it's still on the transport theme, and with the ORN, if we want Londoners to change their travel habits during the Olympics so that our roads don't get completely clogged up with traffic, does it make sense to ban cyclists from the games lanes on the Olympic route network?
I think you make a very good point that it is only games lanes where vehicles other than Games family aren't able to use it. All vehicles are able to use the ORN. Looking specifically at games lanes, they account for only a third of the Olympic route network, which itself only accounts for 1% of London's roads, so it's a relatively small part of London's road network. Of those games lanes, 95% are in the offside lane, so away from the curb. And we know that from working with cyclists in London that that isn't the position that most cyclists seek to travel in. On those parts of the network where we have to have games lanes on the curb side, we're working to ensure that into the TROs, the traffic regulation orders that we're putting in, that there will be, in as many places as possible, allowances made so that cyclists can make use of those games lanes.
I mean, in normal times that's true, but given that these games lanes will be relatively free of traffic compared to the other ones being clogged up, then they may actually be more attractive for cyclists to use, and may help the cyclists get around just as they would normally use bus lanes during normal working times.
Well, I think you have to go back to understanding the purpose for games lanes in the first place, and they're about achieving two things. Firstly, making sure that the games family are able to travel between venues quickly, but most
cyclists aren't going to slow them down, are they, in those
well,
lanes?
in certain circumstances they will do, and they will add to congestion. These lanes aren't going to be empty, they're going to be filled with buses and cars moving the games family around. Importantly, you need to have a method by which you can move the games family around so that the rest of London's transport network operates as well. So it's important for both of those reasons.
If you're going to apply this rule on the games lane to cyclists as well as to other non-Olympic vehicles, how are you going to enforce that for cyclists? Because I understand with other vehicles you're going to use camera enforcement. You can't use camera enforcement for cyclists, can you?
Well, the starting point is that we need to work with cyclists to ensure that they understand what's required of them during the games and that they shouldn't make use of the games. We don't want to have to enforce. We want people to comply. Where we need to, TfL and the police will be working on those parts of the games lanes that feature on the TLRN, and with the boroughs to enforce on games lanes which feature on the borough road network, and we will have police and other enforcement officers out there stopping cyclists if they do make use of games lanes.
We will also see, as a result of the changes to the with the Olympic route network, there will be changes to junctions and traffic flow and so on during the period of the games. Will you be carrying out a full audit of the cycling implications of that in terms of safety, and will you be working directly with cycling organisations in London to minimise danger at those junctions?
Yes, we've got a good relationship with the cycling groups, and throughout the games we will continue to monitor to make sure that we understand how the impact is affecting cyclists, and we will track to ensure that we understand where there are problems. I think it's something that we will be going out and every evening checking to see whether or not we need to make small tweaks to things like traffic signal timings that you suggest to make sure that the Olympic route network as a whole continues to function as effectively as possible. So
you will be carrying out a full audit of the safety implications beforehand then?
I'm almost certain that has already taken place as part of the consultation, as part of the preparation for the consultation process, but I'll confirm that has happened.
If you could confirm that in writing, that would be useful.